We want to thank those who have already partnered with us. You are helping make the place we love a better place for our community to meet.
Have you been to Boswells Furniture lately?
Yes, Boswells has an expansive 2-story showroom filled with so many great choices for our living room, dining room, and bedroom.
Did you know that Boswell sells directly from their store inventory, so we wouldn't have to wait to get our new furniture?
Yes, plus Boswells has free local delivery and complimentary design service to help us with the layout and fabric choices.
No waiting and amazing customer service. I mean, why would we go anywhere else?
Boswells on Easy Street. It's closer than you think.
The Surf and Slide Water Park is open from Memorial Day through Labor Day. Surf and Slide is located in the heart of Central Washington in Moses Lake with activities for all ages and abilities. Check out Surf and Slide's Flow Rider Surfing Simulator, Lazy River, 2 200-foot water slides, tube slides, and diving boards. Our children's area includes a Treasure Island water structure, splash pad, and baby octopus slide. For season passes,
And due to circumstances beyond my control, we're back. It is Monday, 14th day of August, 2023. I am Dan Kuntz. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. The well-advertised heat wave that we've been talking about for about a week is just about here. It's going to be oppressively hot for the next 4 days. Record-breaking high temperatures, a distinct possibility. Possible today. It's a guaranteed new record high temperature for tomorrow, quite possibly Wednesday into Thursday, a gradual cool down to more comfortable and normal temperatures by the weekend. But I hope your air conditioning works because you're going to need it for the next 4 days. That very hot weather forecast is coming up. We have an excessive heat warning, as a matter of fact, that kicks in at 11 o'clock today and goes all the way through till 11 o'clock in the evening on Thursday. Haven't seen these temperatures yet this year. Haven't hit 100 degrees yet. We have a chance of doing that, very good chance of doing that over the next 4 days. We had a homicide over the weekend in Wenatchee. We'll talk about that when we get to the news and a lot of other things. It was a busy couple of days in the newsroom. Sports, Mariners won Friday, tough loss on Saturday, even tougher loss yesterday. But who's kidding who? The Orioles are good. There's nothing wrong with losing to a good team. And the Mariners gave them all they could. We'll have highlights of last night's game. Also, we'll talk about the WVSO. They had another busy weekend on Saturday night up at the Super Bowl. They got another busy weekend this weekend as well. At least it'll be cool by the time we get to racing on Saturday night. And since tomorrow is the opening of the Grant County Fair in Moses Lake at the fairgrounds, we're going to revisit my interview with Jim McKiernan, who is the fairgrounds manager, and by default he runs the Grant County Fair, which starts tomorrow in Moses Lake. We'll have that for Jim coming up too. 2 minutes after the hour, everybody's favorite part of the show, at least that's what they tell me, is our cameras around the valley, and let's start with that right now. It is 68 degrees. Yesterday we had 95. We'll be about 5 degrees warmer than that. The overnight lows are going to be extremely mild. Sunrise this morning was at 5:56. Sunset tonight, 8:14. That's 14 hours and 18 minutes of daylight. Point of reference, last Monday, we had 14 hours and 42 minutes of daylight. So about 24 minutes less daylight over the course of the week is what we're dealing with. That is, don't tell me I'm going to say that's the Wenatchee Valley. See, I'm all over it. Rock Island chimes in because we love Rock Island. There you go. If you're going to do any sort of outdoors activities, such as playing golf, do it in the morning, because by the time we get to noon, it's going to feel hot. It'll probably be 90 by noon. It's not going to take us very long to climb that temperature ladder. That is zoomed way out. Good morning to Rock Island, a little sliver of the East Wenatchee bench, and a good swath of Malaga on your shot there. Cougar Ridge lets us look at the north side of town. On the Wenatchee side, we can see, by the way, have you tried the roundabout yet? It's not that hard. Just follow the signs and you get right through it. Good morning to Sunny Slope. Good morning to Sleepy Hollow, the north end of town, the Otabashian Bridge, and way off into the distance, the Cascades. Beautiful view from Cougar Ridge. That's up there a ways. Speaking of up there a ways, McNeil Canyon chimes in. We have a super tall tower on top of the McNeil Canyon area, and that gives us a chance to peek right over the top of that ridge and say good morning to Chelan. Boy, a lot of people are going to be heading to the lake to cool off. It's going to be very hot in Lake Chelan for the next couple of days as well, so the water will be enticing. And I mentioned this, I went swimming Lake Chelan a couple of weeks ago, and I was amazed about how warm the water was. And my guess is it's going to continue to warm up with these excessively hot temperatures. Speaking of that, check this out. There you go. Purple is bad. That means extreme heat, and by golly, we're right into that bullseye. This is the heat risk for Tuesday specifically, because this is going to be the hottest day of this heat wave. We'll be close to 100 degrees today. We're going to be well into the 100-degree mark. Past that on Tuesday, it's just going to be hot. We'll be over 100 degrees on Wednesday, over 100 degrees possibly on Thursday. No escaping the heat. It is, especially in the afternoon hours, it's just going to smack you upside the head. Well, at least it's a dry heat, kind of like a blowtorch. From the National Weather Service, here we go. Our record high today on this date is 102. That was set back in 1992 and again in 2021, just a couple of years ago. We'll be close to that today. 77 for the overnight lows, so the air conditioner will be working all night long. Now, Tuesday's record high, we're going to blast that baby. The record high on Tuesday, 101. That was also set 2 years ago in 2021. That's going to go by the wayside. 76 for the overnight low on Tuesday. For Wednesday, the record high temperature, 103. It looks like we're going to beat it by a degree or two on Wednesday. Thursday's record high, 104, set back in 2008. So chance of a record high today. We're going to have record high temperatures Tuesday and Wednesday. That's almost guaranteed. Almost a record high on Thursday. We finally catch a break with more seasonal temperatures by the time we get to the weekend, but it is going to be extremely hot for the next 4 days. And a friendly reminder, we have not hit 100 degrees yet this year. We got to 99 degrees in mid-July for one day, but we haven't gotten to 100. We will do so over the next 4 days. Whew. Drink them fluids, folks. All right, going to take a break, and then we'll come back with a rather busy Monday morning news. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
We're turning up the heat with the hottest deals of the year. Right now, during the hot summer clearance sale, only at Click It RV. #1 in sales and service. The best RV brands. Over 1,000 to choose from. And the best deals of the year on remaining 2023 model year-end clearance with incredible 30% off. Brand new RVs discounted up to 30%. Save thousands. Plus, no payments until 2024. During the hot summer clearance sale, now only at Click It RV. 5 superstore locations. Hurry in today.
I chose a career at Confluence Health because I wanted to help people, and I knew there would be opportunities for growth. I started as a medical assistant, but quickly advanced in my career. I received 5 promotions in only 7 years, 3 of those in management roles. Most organizations don't offer that type of growth. Now, as a career pathway coordinator, I let everyone know. Come join Confluence Health. Come grow with us.
Invite you to watch Network TV. I interview different guests in technology, entrepreneurship, business, education, and nonprofit. It's a bit of a variety show, and you never know who you're going to meet or learn about on Network TV. Tune in weekly to the NCW Life channel.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
A rather comfortable 68 degrees. Don't get used to it. Triple digits today, well into the triple digits on Tuesday. That'll be the hottest day of this heat wave. 100 degrees or more on Wednesday and Thursday. We finally cool down over the weekend, but it's going to be hot. It's 9 minutes after the hour. An altercation in the 600 block of South Mission Street late Saturday proceeded to what turned out to be a fatal shooting of a 15-year-old boy. This is according to the Wenatchee Police Department. Gunshots reported at 11:29 p.m. on Saturday night near the intersection of South Mission and Peachy Street. Details are sketchy still on this Monday. The teenager pronounced dead at the scene. After police and medical responders arrived, the victim, not yet been publicly identified. Police said the suspect fled in a vehicle, and as of this morning, that suspect is still on the loose. 5 people were hospitalized following a 2-car crash early Saturday morning on State Route 97. This happened 5 miles south of the BB Bridge. The Washington State Patrol reports that at 4 a.m., a southbound 2001 Honda Civic crossed the center line all the way onto the northbound shoulder, then re-entered the northbound lane and struck a 2005 Ford F-350 pickup that was towing a boat. Now, the driver of the Civic, 23-year-old Pedro Escobar Miranda of Orondo, and his passenger, 24-year-old Alejandro Medrano of Quincy, were transported to Lake Chelan Hospital with unknown injuries. The 3 occupants of the truck also taken to Lake Chelan Hospital. The State Patrol says that Miranda attempted to flee on foot, but was taken into custody. A short time later, the Civic came to rest in a ditch, and that sparked a small brush fire. The highway was fully blocked for 4.5 hours. Miranda faces charges of vehicular assault and hit and run. State Patrol reports that drugs or alcohol were a factor in that accident. Authorities on the Colville Indian Reservation on Wednesday recovered the body of an unidentified woman found partially buried on Omak Mountain. Colville Tribal Police said a caller visiting the mountain east of Omak reported the find on Wednesday evening. Now, the body appears to be that of an adult Caucasian female. It was wrapped in a blanket and partially covered in dirt and brush. Police say they're investigating with the help of the Washington State Patrol. They're trying to match the body to reported missing persons cases. The Wenatchee City Council approved an agreement on Thursday to sell the city's old fire station, which is kitty corner from our studios. The idea to transform it into a top shelf restaurant. Dime Food Group, formed in Seattle by brothers David and Ian Nichols, who are from Kashmir. They're going to pay $520,000 for the acquisition, but they expect to spend about $4.5 million to open the proposed Brigade restaurant no later than May of 2026. City Executive Services Director Laura Gloria said the relatively low purchase price stemmed from the fact that major renovations are needed.
The purchase and sale agreement, what we've ended up on is a $520,000 purchase price with a $20,000 earnest deposit. The reason for the price discount is because of the cost of the building. Converting it from a public use of a fire station to a completely different use requires a lot of different investment in the building. On top of that, the building is old, it is historic, and while there's some great character to that, there's also a lot of cost associated with that. Asbestos, lead, some structural retrofits. So in negotiating back and forth as to how much would be invested and how much we should consider for the condition of the building, we reduced the purchase price to $520,000.
Confluence Health and the Wenatchee Valley Medical Group have signed an agreement on the working relationship between those two organizations. The Wenatchee Valley Medical Group represents most of the physicians who work at various Confluence Health facilities. The document is called the Professional Services Agreement and Co-Management Agreement. It's been under negotiations for over a year. Along with the working relationship, it covers the roles and responsibilities, compensation, and benefits between the two organizations, who both said they look forward to their continued partnership. The agreement was signed by the Wenatchee Valley Medical Group Board earlier this month on August 3rd. Confluence Health's board signed it just this last Tuesday. And if you miss the days of Blockbuster and Hastings, two stores that are long gone now, you're in luck. The Time Capsule is a retro collectibles store. They have DVDs, comic books, cassette tapes, vinyl records, and more. Owners Doug and Kayla Nunn say they are here to spread the love of 80s and 90s nostalgia here in the Wenatchee Valley.
Yeah, we offer a little bit of everything from the 80s and 90s and today as well. We have toys, music, movies, comic books, regular books, video games, consoles, anything that you want to have fun and remember a little bit of the 80s or 90s.
I mean, this has been something that I've wanted to do for a very long time. I used to be a firefighter, and it was great. I spent a lot of my money on toys, though. Like, I collected a lot of stuff, and long story short, I just had a lot of stuff, and I didn't really know what to do with it other than start selling it and sharing it with other people. And so I started doing that a little bit. It helps that my wife's an accountant, and so we just decided to make a store. It's been insane. I mean, I knew it was going to be fun for adults, for people in my age in their 30s and 40s, but the reaction of the kids has been insane. It's cool to see them react to something that their dads are reacting to. Like, the differences. It's just been really fun. Everybody's been really, really happy. I mean, we have a group that comes in and plays Yu-Gi-Oh! On Sundays. They actually have a place to go. That's not the library. The library is great, but now they have somewhere they can be a little louder. So it's been phenomenal. I noticed that Hastings and Blockbuster and stuff kind of disappeared, and there's definitely a gap there, and so I'm glad that I filled it up.
Being a part of the local business community has been a journey for sure. We've had a lot of support from places that we weren't anticipating, and we still have a lot of questions, and we're figuring out how to get those answered. Business is hard, and not everybody wants to share their trade secrets with you, but the support that we've received has been really great and really surprising, and I feel like we're going to do great in the years to come with the support of the community. So at the end of August, we are holding a POG tournament. We're going to have 3 age brackets depending on how many people join. POGs was a game from the 90s where you take small cardboard discs and you stack them into piles, and then you slam a slammer onto them, which is a heavier disc, and whatever flips right side up or upside down, I can't remember, I didn't play that many POGs, those go to the winner. You could easily lose all the POGs your mom spent her hard-earned money on, but we're providing all the POGs for this tournament. It's a $5 entry fee, and there are prizes for first, second, and third place winners in each of the age brackets.
Now you're in the loop of what's going on in the Wenatchee Valley in north central Washington, and if you want to stay in the loop, watch the news at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. That's when it's on television, 5, 6, and 10. If you don't do TV, but you do the internet, you can watch it on the internet too. Again, we'll have the news up and running on our Facebook page, on our YouTube page, and on our homepage right around 5 o'clock. And if you have something out there that you think warrants our attention, let us know about it so we know about it. Best way to go about doing that, send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. Tough weekend for the Seattle Mariners. Boy, things looked good on Friday, and things didn't look so good on Saturday and Sunday. Mariner highlights coming up. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
When Mike leaves town, it's a little scary. You never know who might be outside. But we feel safer inside knowing our home is being monitored by a local company. I can check our alarm from just about anywhere, so when we get home, I know it's safe.
Protect your family and save money with a local company. Switch your current security monitoring to Guardian Services from LocalTel. Call Guardian Security from LocalTel now or visit localtel.net to learn more.
Enjoy the sounds of summer from your very own pool and spa. Blue Lagoon is now scheduling pool installations for this summer. Call today to schedule a free consultation for a custom San Juan fiberglass pool. And let the experts at Blue Lagoon handle the construction, installation, and regular maintenance. Turn your boring backyard into vacation paradise this summer with industry-leading San Juan pool. No need to go off the deep end. Relax knowing you're in great hands with Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa.
Whether you're just dipping your feet or plunging right in, boating with a Sylvan pontoon boat is the way to go at Bobfile Boats and Motors. Sylvan pontoon boats offer performance, reliability, and stability to take you, your family, and friends to the water in style. Sylvan pontoon boats have a wide variety of styles and layouts to suit your needs. See the full line of Sylvan pontoon boats at Bobfile Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee or online at bobfile.com.
Let's see, it's 19 minutes after the hour. Mariners lose a heartbreaker in 10 innings yesterday afternoon at T-Mobile Park. Baltimore 5, Seattle 3. Back and forth ball game came down to the last 2 innings. I watched it. The Orioles grabbed a lead in the 9th. Seattle found a way to tie it in the bottom of the 9th on a dramatic home run.
Henderson takes it the other way into left field. Marlowe's there to make the play. McCann will tag from third and score. And Gunnar Henderson's sacrifice fly gives the Orioles a regulation run. They're on the board early today with a 1-0 lead in the 3rd. Cracked into center field. Base hit. Rojas coming home. The throw from Hayes is cut off. And Eugenio Suarez, who else, drives in a run. And line into left field for a base hit. This might find its way to the wall, and it does. Rojas being waved in. He hits third. He paddles home. Rojas scores. And Julio has given the Mariners a 2-1 lead. Hayes left side, and it gets over the leaping try of Moore. Mountcastle waved around third. Throw to the plate is cut off. Austin Hayes comes through with a big 2-out hit to tie the game. They call a balk? They must have. I think they've called a balk on Munoz. They're saying he didn't come set. At the top corner, left corner of your screen. This may not end well. Adam Beck is the third base umpire. No count. And Rutschman with a little dribbler. Munoz coming to the plate. He's safe. Oh, he got in there. How did he do it? Mateo under the tag, and the Orioles take the lead.
Wow. He was off.
Seattle is challenged. Obviously will challenge now.
Wow, what a slide.
After review, the call on the field stands. The runner is safe. Seattle loses their challenge.
And the Orioles take the lead. A Norfolk win over the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. France into center field. Hit well. Hit deep. Mullen.
He got it. He
cannot be serious.
Oh my gosh.
He cannot have just done that.
Oh.
He cannot have just done that.
That ball was over the fence.
The play of a lifetime.
Kidding me.
Canzone. A towering fly ball. Don Canzone. He times it off the windows. His first home run as a Mariner. In the most dramatic of ways. You're not bringing that one back. And Mullins drives this one into right field. That's a fair ball. That is deep. That is out of here. Cedric Mullins robs a home run. Cedric Mullins hits a home run. And the Orioles are back in front.
You kidding me? Cedric this is probably the greatest 2 half innings I've ever seen a player have. He brings a home run back, hits one foul, and then comes back and hits a 2-run homer to give the Orioles a 2-run lead.
Survive without him. Rodriguez on the ground to short. Mateo is there on to first, and the Orioles have done it. The series win of the season in Seattle. 5-3-10. We'll remember this one forever as the Cedric Mullins game.
Baltimore also won on Saturday. It also took 10 innings. That was a 1-0 game. Seattle won the opener Friday. The final there was 9-2. Afterwards, manager Scott Service says Baltimore's good.
We have a very good team. You see two Well-disciplined teams. They make the plays defensively. They run the bases well. They grind through at bats just like we do. They just scored one more run in each of the games last couple. It happens. Two very evenly matched teams, I think, is the best way to describe that series. Obviously, the last couple nights, the extra inning games, it hurts when you don't win them. Yeah, get the big play at the end, and I wish they would have left Cedric Mullins on the bench today. It turned out, made an unbelievable catch on Ty's ball, but, we don't quit. Dom comes up. It's a big homer after that. But unfortunately, weren't able to shut him down there in the 10th inning. I thought, they did a really good job. They pitched us tough here the last couple of days. Bredich has really good stuff. We know that coming in there. It's a really good curveball and a slider, and just didn't get much going against him. A tough way to lose a series. We haven't lost a series in a long time. We've been playing very good baseball, and I thought we played well in this series. It's a good team over there. They made big plays in big moments and got a couple more big hits than we did. So, again, efforts there. Guys are grinding, playing really good baseball. We head out on a big road trip right now, and things happen in the course of a tight game like that. You need things to go your way, and we didn't get it done today. So again, we're playing good ball. We'll get out on the road and continue out there.
On the road indeed, 10 games in 10 days, and it starts today. They'll be in Kansas City, 5:10 on Root Sports Northwest. All right, to the Les Schwab American League West scoreboard, Washington scores 6 runs in the bottom of the 9th. Walk it off against the A's. The final was 8-7. Shohei Ohtani's 41st home run of the season proved to be the game winner for Los Angeles. Angels edging Houston 2-1. And San Francisco walked off against Texas in 10 innings. Patrick Bailey's 2-run home run. So the Rangers take 2 of 3 in that series. They've remained atop the AL West. They have a 2.5 game lead over the Astros. Seattle 6.5 back in the West, but they trail Toronto by just a game and a half for the final wild card playoff spot. It'll be the Knights and the Harbor Cats for the West Coast League Championship tonight. Victoria holding off Bellingham 7-6, so they win the North. And Corvallis beats Portland 4-1 to win the South. So Victoria heads to Corvallis tonight. They'll play for the West Coast League title at 8 o'clock. The Harbor Cats are looking for their first championship, while the Knights are going for their 10th championship and their 7th in a row. Hot temperatures made for good racing on Saturday night at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. It was the Columbia River Throwdown. Okanagan's Evan Getz once again proved to be faster than the rest. He won the Jerry's Auto Supply Pro Late Model main event. Quincy's Casey Klein second, and East Wenatchee's Garrett Evans finished third. Bob Grainer drove the number 25 car across the finish line first in the Dixieton Air Conditioning Thunder Car main event. The driver from East Wenatchee joined on the podium by fellow East Wenatcheean Cameron Doyle, and South Clay alums Andrew Aper was third. Wyatt Flowers is from Palmer, Alaska, but continues to find a home at the WVSO. 5 wins in 5 feature races. He's 5 for 5 this year. He won the Angel Bell Bonds Bandolero main event. Sidney Hamlin of Post Falls, Idaho, second, and Wenatchee's Caden Steinberg third. It was an all-Western Washington podium in the Northwest Pro 4 trucks. The main event, as Tacoma's Pete Brady took first. Cole Coy of Snohomish was second, and Long Branch, Washington's Mike Wiley finished third. It was a Spokane sweep in the main event for the Tri-State Mini Stock Tour. Casey Garber first, Colton Schultz second, Patrick DeBerry third, and they'll be back at it again this Saturday at the WVSO. It's Bump to Pass and Boat Race Destruction Night. Oh boy, that's crazy. Racing features the Rockstar Energy B mods, the Plum Perfect Roadrunners, the AMCA Bandit Dwarf cards, the Johnson Electric Bump to Pass Boat Destruction, Zero Handicap Youth Runners. It's going to be a party. WVSO.com for tickets and more information. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Monday, August 14th. For those of you who got a tattoo and wish you never did it, today's the day to get rid of it. Today, on the obscure holiday, it's National Tattoo Removal Day. I have some friends who had a little too much imbibing one night and did that, and it happens. It happens. Not to me, of course, but, it's, hey, let's get a tattoo, and tattoos are tattoos. The most tattooed country in the world, by the way, and apparently somebody keeps track of these things, is New Zealand. A lot of people get tattoos in New Zealand. The oldest person that we know that got a tattoo was a guy by the name of Jack Reynolds. He was 104 when he got a tattoo. If you're 104, go for it. That's what I say. Prisoners in Russia will mix urine with soot to make their own tattoos. I have no idea why I brought that up. None whatsoever. And a friendly reminder, it only takes pretty much one trip to the tattoo artist to get a tattoo, but if you want to get rid of it, that usually takes between 5 to 10 trips to have the average tattoo removed. So if you don't like it, get rid of it. You're much better off not getting it in the first place, obviously. We all know that. If you don't want it, why'd you do it? 29 minutes after the hour, I would never use my body as a work of art. Today in history, there are forest fires, and then there are forest fires. The Tillamook burn broke out on this date in 1933, 90 years ago today. Look at that photo. Here's some of the footage. They were dragging a steel cable behind a fallen Douglas fir. Some loggers were. That steel cable rubbed up against the dry bark of a snag laying on the ground. That snag burst into flames, and before you knew it, the Tillamook burn took off. It didn't get contained until September 5th. It destroyed 350,000 acres. Put this into perspective, that's 546 square miles burned. It burned so hot and so intense that embers and debris from the Tillamook burn ended up landing on ships in the Pacific Ocean that were 500 miles out to sea. The Tillamook burn broke open on this date in 1933. Happy 88th birthday to Social Security. Franklin D. Roosevelt signs the Social Security Act into law on April 14th, 1935. Of course, by 1934, the United States was the only modern industrial country without any kind of national Social Security system. It was decided that they should do that. More facts about Social Security, but first, here's what it was like.
This Social Security measure gives at least some protection to 50 millions of our citizens who will reap direct benefits through unemployment compensation, through old age pensions, and through increased services for the protection of children and the prevention of ill health. We can never insure 100% of the population against 100% of the hazards and vicissitudes of life, but we have tried to frame a law which will give some measure of protection to the average citizen and to his family against the loss of a job and against poverty-stricken old age.
During the 1950s, the highest level of poverty were those people aged 65 and older. So elderly people living in poverty was quite normal in the 1950s, and most of the nation's wealth was concentrated on people under the age of 35. That has now completely reversed itself. The highest concentration of wealth is older people, and people under the age of 35 have the highest level of poverty. It is considered, and I'm quoting now, the most important single piece of social legislation in American history. And then there's this fact. In 1940, 5 years after the Social Security Act was signed into law, the ratio of workers to beneficiaries was 159 to 1. For every 159 people working in the labor pool paid Social Security for one person. Now that ratio is 3 to 1. Social Security is 88 years old today. The last public hanging in this country's history took place in Owensboro, Kentucky, 87 years ago today. About 20,000 people showed up to watch Rainey Bethea get hanged. This was a complete fiasco. It was up to the sheriff of the particular county to do the hanging. Florence Thompson was the sheriff. Yeah, she was a woman, and she didn't want anything to do with it. She goes, I ain't doing this. No way am I going to do it. So she was expected to be the first woman ever to execute a person in United States history because the law said it was her duty to spring the trap. She said, I won't do it. She said so publicly. But she found somebody who would do it. A retired Louisville police officer by the name of Arthur Ashe was hired to do the job. Arthur Ashe showed up on the morning of April 14th, 1937, drunk. He was so drunk he couldn't barely even get the words out. He got the job done. And it was such a fiasco that the state of Kentucky said, we probably shouldn't do this anymore. The last public execution happened on this date in Owensboro, Kentucky, back in 1935. 1 year later, August 14th, 1936, 87 years ago today, if you've ever read the book, The Boys in the Boat, this was the day that the 8-man Washington varsity crew, the famous Boys in the Boat, won the Olympic gold medal at Berlin. I believe we have footage of it. First of all, it's a great, great book, and I think they're turning it into a movie, last I heard. Herbert Morris, Charles Day, Gordon Adam, John White, James McMillan, George Hunt, of course, Joe Rance, Don Hume, and the coxswain, Robert Mock. Road to victory. It was a come-from-behind victory, by the way. Now, for most of the crew races at the Berlin Olympics, they were dominated by the Germans and the Italians, but the most prestigious of all, of course, is the 8-man crew race, and that's the Washington boat at the very top of your screen. And they came back and they won the gold medal, the famous Boys from the Boat. They did it on this date at the Berlin Olympics 87 years ago today. I've read the book actually twice. I don't normally read books twice unless they're really good, and that book is really good, The Boys in the Boat. Can't wait to see the movie. I'm told that they're making a movie. That's what I was told anyway. That was in 1936. On this date, 1945, 78 years ago today, Japan says, we will accept the Allied terms of surrender for World War II. They knew it was coming, but what are the terms going to be before we actually say we're going to surrender? The United States says these are the terms, and Japan said, okay, we're done. For all intensive purposes, World War II ended on this date 78 years ago today. And the flight of Helios Airways Flight 522 from Cyprus to Prague via Athens happened on this date in 2005. They were having some troubles. They thought one of the doors was leaking, and so while it was on the ground, a member of the ground crew ran a pressure test, a manual pressure test. That way you can test the pressurization of the airplane without the airplane actually being at 30,000 feet, and everything turned out okay, but he had to switch it to manual to do it, and then the ground crew member forgot to switch the air pressure system from manual back to automatic. And the crew had 3 chances to check whether the air pressure was set to automatic in the pre-flight check, and the takeoff check, and then when they start climbing up check. Those are 3 checks that they do. None of the crew members noticed that the pressurization was still on manual. As you might imagine, you knew what happened. When the Greeks sent up the Air Force to take a look at what was going on, they saw that everybody was unconscious except 2 people, 2 stewardesses who, before they asphyxiated, was able to slap on a portable oxygen tank to stay alive, and they got up to the cockpit and they tried to figure out what to do, but before they could do anything, the plane ran out of gas. But they were able to steer the plane into a mountain so it wouldn't crash in heavily populated areas. Everybody on board died. Birthdays. Earl Weaver would have been 93 years old today, even though he managed the Orioles, who beat my Yankees quite often in the 70s and the 80s. I still think he's great. Baseball Hall of Fame, 1996. Earl Weaver, of course, known. He had a very simple strategy. Good defense, good pitching, 3-run home runs, and that wins baseball games. Earl Weaver one time with an argument with an umpire said, I'm going to check the rule book, umpire. And the umpire pulled out the rule book from his back pocket and said, here, use mine, Earl. And Earl said, it doesn't do me any good. I don't read Braille. Earl Weaver, born in the state in 1938. And 4 living legends. Steve Martin, 78 years old today. Only Murders in the Building. You should check it out. It's on Hulu. It's a good show. Steve Martin, legendary comedian, 78 years old today. There is no photograph of Gary Larson to be found anywhere. The man who wrote The Far Side and now is writing it again, born and raised in University Place, just outside of Tacoma. Gary Larson, 73 years old today, so I thought I'd just throw up one of my favorite Far Side cartoons. Irvin Magic Johnson, Hall of Famer, gold medalist, national champion, the great Irvin Magic Johnson, 64 years old today. And Halle Berry, the model, the actress, the producer, is 57 years old today. Of course, she won the Academy Award for Best Actress for Monsters Ball back in 2001. 38 minutes after the hour, Mike Mignotti has got an opinion. It's about Facebook, or as Mike likes to call it, in your Facebook. And then we're going to revisit my conversation with Jim McKiernan, because the Grant County Fair, the first of the Fair series, gets underway tomorrow in Moses Lake. Jim will be my guest when we come back. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee provides financial services for independent-minded clients working to secure their futures. Whether it's helping construct your personal financial, retirement, or estate plan, they start with a disciplined approach and straightforward advice. An individualized approach is rooted in the values, stability, and strength their company was founded on in 1935. With offices coast to coast and personal attention you deserve right here in the Wenatchee Valley, learn more about D.A. Davidson.
At Collins Fashions, personal service is our trademark. Our stylists love to assist our customers with great fashion choices like Tommy Bahama, Karen Kane, Tribal, Nick and Zoe, Habitat, Liverpool, Brighton handbags and jewelry, and many more. Whether you're going on a great vacation, hitting the beach at Lake Chelan, or the mother of the bride and groom, we want you to love what you wear. Collins Fashions in downtown Wenatchee, your personal shoppers.
Hi everybody, Dan Kuntz alongside Jesse Coble from Alpine Air. There's ice on my heat pump and under my heat pump.
Well, ice under your heat pump is normal. When we go into a defrost cycle, it melts the frost off, creates water, which freezes to the ground. Ice around your heat pump is a thing that you should probably give us a call about.
Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air for heat and air. Call Alpine Air. Thanks, Jesse.
Thanks.
This summer, Abby's Legendary Pizza is helping stretch your hard-earned money. Our giant pizza is loaded with so many toppings that it usually feeds 4 to 6 people. Plus, join our E-Club for special discounts for our favorite customers. At Abby's, we treat you like family. Abby's knows what our customers like, and it's not pear and arugula. That's why we're offering a special price on this pizza loaded with 2 of your favorite meat toppings, Canadian bacon and beef. And if you want, we'll add some delicious fresh summer tomatoes too. Order now at abbys.com.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I just read a Facebook post from somebody I like and admire, always have. But the poster recounted a totally disagreeable contact with a local politician of a certain party. This poster then posted, and I quote, "This is why I think people of that party are callous and insensitive. It's because their leadership at both local and national levels, they act callous and insensitive too." Now what is it when you categorize all members of a group by behavior of some of the members of the group? What is that called? What do we call that? And why is it okay to condemn prejudice in others but justify it in oneself? This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Badger Mountain Brewery is your cure for boredom. Jam Night Mondays. Trivia Wednesdays. Live Music Fridays. And Sunday Brunch. There's always something brewing at Badger Mountain, so come join the party.
When Mike leaves town, it's a little scary. You never know who might be outside. But we feel safer inside knowing our home is being monitored by a local company. I can check our alarm from just about anywhere. So when we get home, I know it's safe.
Protect your family and save money with a local company. Switch your current security monitoring to Guardian Services from LocalTel. Call Guardian Security from LocalTel now or visit localtel.net to learn more.
So, how's Evan?
Well, he's all grown up now, but I worry about him.
So many dangers in the world. COVID, the environment, the opioid epidemic.
Yeah, I hear opioid misuse is on the rise.
I don't even know how to start a conversation with him.
This might help. GetTheFactsRx.com. There's a whole section on how to talk about opioids with your family.
Offer support, not judgment. Cool.
Talk to your family about the dangers of opioids. Visit GetTheFactsRx.com.
Few things strike fear in the human heart, like the possibility of a rattlesnake bite. Dogs can encounter rattlesnakes on their walks or in their yards, and being curious, often get bitten on their face, neck, and legs. Luckily, a vaccination is available to help neutralize venom so dogs experience less pain and swelling. Even if your dog has received a vaccine, you still need to seek immediate help. Dr. Shauna Bayes and the staff of Paws and Claws care about your pet's health. Call 888-PAWS to schedule your vaccination today.
Check out ClubCrowCashmere.com for upcoming events and tickets.
Welcome back to the program. It is one of the largest fairs and one of the oldest fairs in North Central Washington, and they get to go first. It's not up in Waterville with the NCW Fair, and it's not out there in Cashmere. These guys get to bat leadoff, pardon the baseball analogy. The Grant County Fair starts on Tuesday, and well, Jim, introduce yourself to our television family.
Jim McKiernan, director of the Grant County Fairgrounds, and have probably the best job in the world.
It is a pretty good job.
Oh yeah,
it is a pretty good job. This is crazy time for you guys. You're closing in. It opens up on Tuesday.
Yep.
Runs right through Sunday.
Yep.
A myriad of activities. How do you keep it all organized, bud?
I wake up in the middle of the night and I send myself emails. That's usually the best way to describe what happens. 4 o'clock in the morning, notoriously, I wake up, send myself an email because I forgot something. But we're going through lists. Luckily, the staff, we've got a great staff, and so they go through the lists of things that we need to do. Right now, we're doing a lot of last-minute things just to get ready and make sure the grounds look good and anticipate the weather. That's a big thing. Yeah, it just takes lots of going back and refreshing ourselves as to what we did prior years.
This year's theme is Sow It, Grow It, and Show It at the Grant County Fair. That's a pretty good marketing idea. Who came up with that?
We
Couldn't have been
actually,
you.
No, I'm not that creative. We did a Facebook contest, and that was the theme that everybody picked. Our Fair Advisory Committee, which is a group of volunteers that helps us put things together and plan, and they picked that out, and it was great. We did a contest on Facebook.
It's perfect because almost anything that is on display here at the Grant County Fair is a judged competition. Whether you do quilting or make pillows or have a pig or a horse or a dog. Well, not a dog, but
yeah, no, we do dogs.
We do dogs. But yeah, I mean that's all part of the deal.
We and photography exhibits. I mean, we're probably the largest livestock show in the state as far as number of animals. We don't quite hit the mark on the auction. A couple other fairs do a little bit more than we do, but we did almost $1 million in livestock auction sales last year, which all that money goes back to youth exhibitors and FFA kids. It prepares them for college and those kinds of things.
Yeah, Future Farmers America, this is their big week, and 4-H clubs, all kinds of youth organizations. And I did a quick little look-see, Jim, as far as variety: goats, rabbits, chickens, horses, pigs, cows, sheep, little bitty pets. It's like,
we do pocket
crazy.
Pets. Yeah, we probably the two biggest categories are sheep and pigs. Last year we actually added Grange into the mix, so we have 3 youth organizations now. So, but yeah, pigs, we'll have close to 300 pigs and close to 300 sheep this year.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That is a lot. And of course, the highlight, well, I shouldn't say the highlight, but the center of everything is going to be at the arena. They're going to have the roundup, you're going to have the demo derby, and lots of entertainment. Take things in chronological order on what's going to happen in the big arena.
So the Mosaic Roundup Rodeo Association puts on the demo derby Tuesday and Wednesday of Fair Week, which it packs the stands. Farmers come out of the woodwork to bash their old cars together, and I think they do small cars one night and then they do the larger cars, which are getting harder to find. I mean, it's hard to find an old 1970s 4-door Impala. And then Friday, Saturday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday, they'll do the PRCA rodeo. And it's always a good time. They have a beer garden and do live music and stuff in the rodeo grounds at night. So it's a blast too.
And then musical entertainment. You got some good acts. You brought in Mr. Ledoux.
Yeah,
son of the legendary Chris Ledoux. His son Ned is going to be performing.
Ned on Friday night. In fact, what's ironic is in 1992, Chris played the same stage that his father played that stage, and Ned's going to play that stage.
And that wasn't far before Chris passed away, I believe.
I don't know the exact year of when he passed away.
It was in the 90s, I know that.
Yeah.
But his son has picked up where his father left off.
With his band, I think.
Yeah.
So we're really excited. I mean, in fact, we're going to start that one 9:30 at night so the rodeo crowd can come over and see that. And then Thursday night, we've got Michael Ray, a country star. We were really lucky to get him this year. Entertainment's been a hard thing to purchase, mainly because prices are so high and they're booking tours further and further ahead. So if you're late in the game, you don't get an act. And so,
but you got Michael Ray.
Oh, Michael Ray, he'll be great. I know all the ladies will love him. He's a good-looking guy, I guess. But my wife's all excited about it. I don't know.
Lupito Infante, the Grammy nominated, I believe.
Yes, yeah,
They're
she's
talented.
Traditional mariachi singer with her band, and she is an amazing Hispanic singer. We don't normally get that type of entertainment here just because it's hard to find. We were lucky enough to find her out of California and book her, so yeah, we're really excited about that one too.
And for your fans of classic rock and roll, you got 3 tribute bands, Ultimate Classic Rock. Talk about those 3
the
groups.
one that's probably the most exciting, and I actually saw all 3 of these bands about 4 weeks ago, is the Tom Petty tribute band. And then we have an Eagles tribute band and a Fleetwood Mac tribute band, and all 3 are phenomenal. In fact, the Tom Petty tribute band, the guy looks like him, he sounds like him. It's like, whoa, he came back from the dead. So.
And David Show's Carnival, can't forget about that. They're back again.
Pat and Geraldine, they just, they're a class act when it comes to carnivals, and they put on a great show. They bring great rides. They're one of the safest organizations and businesses I've ever seen in that business, and we're really lucky to have them.
Space burgers, cheeseburgers, hot dogs, all the food vendors are back, so you're going to be fed real well.
Yeah, I usually start my morning with Block 40 ice cream. They have the best soft serve ice cream in the area. And then I'll finish the day usually with Block 40 ice cream. It's much to the chagrin of my wife, who says I need to watch my A1C. But
you still keep that boyish figure of yours.
Yeah, that boyish figure. I hope there's some slimming stuff on that camera right there.
A couple of pieces of advice before we get to the nitty-gritty. This is it's 190 acres, and they take up pretty much the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So a good sturdy pair of shoes. Hydrate. If it's hot, you want to hydrate. Now, there's going to be bottled water everywhere, and you got some cooling stations, but we need to remind people, this is not a compact fairgrounds. It's big and it's spread out, and people need to keep that in mind before they come, shouldn't they?
Yeah, we're probably one of the biggest fairgrounds in the state, and it's a lot of walking. We do accommodate ADA access and have a cart that'll run people that need that around. But if you're coming to the fair, just be prepared to walk a lot. And so you notice I usually wear Romeos this time of year. I start wearing tennis shoes because my feet start to hurt if I don't.
And let's get people in the door here. Now, I think I was looking at the website. I think there was a mistake on admission to get in. What is it to get in?
Admission is, so we did a little change this year. Tuesday's always free day. We don't charge anything on Tuesday. Wednesday and Thursday we're free till 3. We actually took that from some other fairs in the state.
That's what I thought that was a mistake.
Nope, we're doing that just to try to encourage daytime usage of the fairgrounds and come to the fair during the day. And then it's $10 admission for adults, and I believe it's $5 for kids under 14. So
that's a heck of a deal.
Yeah, it's still a great deal, and I mean, we're going to have 25 plus food vendors, several dozen just vendors of stuff. We really focused on that this year. So.
In this debit card world that we live in, is that going to be enough, or do you need to bring some cash, or is most of the vendors going to be able to take your swiper?
Most of the vendors will take cards nowadays. Okay. We've been encouraging our food vendors, especially some of the nonprofits, to move to some kind of POS system that takes debit cards, because honestly, I don't even carry cash anymore. So
yeah.
Well, maybe $10 if my wife gives me $10.
We have learned one thing. Who wears the pants in Jim's household?
It's definitely my wife.
We've discovered that.
That's all right. Yeah, happy wife, happy life.
2 more things will cut you loose. Major sponsors.
We got Local Tel this year, which is a huge sponsor. We really appreciate that crew. GISA. We have Jensen Farms. We have Grant County PUD. Grant County Industrial Alliance, which is a conglomeration of Microsoft and several other companies. We've got Weinstein Beverages out of Wenatchee, Pepsi products. And then we've got the City of Moses Lake Tourism and Grant County Tourism both contributed quite a bit this year to help us bring in some bigger entertainment.
And none of this happens. I'm not talking just the Grant County Fair. I'm talking about year-round activities here at the fairgrounds. None of that happens without your crack staff, from your landscapers and your groundskeepers, the guys who run around in the tractors to put out little fires, to your office staff. They're the backbones of this organization.
We have an amazing crew right now, and we have 8 full-time people that take care of this. We do about 110 events a year, and so it's a very busy fairgrounds, probably one of the busiest in the state. We're the largest equestrian facility in the state right now, and then we bring in 6 to 8 seasonals to get us through. But yeah, we've just got a great staff.
And it helps that location here in Moses Lake, right off I-90. It's an easy place to come and congregate and have a good time.
It is, and that's the big thing about the equestrian events. You know, when you're pulling a 40-foot horse trailer, they like to be able to get off I-90 and get here easily without damaging their $200,000 horse trailer.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Not to mention their $200,000 horse.
Exactly.
There you go. Jim, it's good to see you, my friend.
Yeah, good to see you.
Let's
too.
have a good fair.
Yeah, you're going to come out, right?
Absolutely. I'll be there.
The ice cream?
I'll be there.
Okay.
Apparently, that's what I need to do.
Yes.
Then I'll just toddle on over to the beer garden.
Yeah, exactly.
You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether, we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
The Clearwater Saloon and Casino has the best Vegas-style games in East Wenatchee. Come enjoy yourself and discover the nightly action. Win big and meet new friends at the Clearwater Saloon and Casino.
Dear Mary Maids, please clean the kitchen, and the cabinets, and the floors, and the chairs. And I wish you could clean the dog. Colin is now feeding himself. Thanks, Megan.
Hi, Megan. No worries. We got it all cleaned up. Let's hope Colin gets past the spaghetti flinging stage soon. Till then, we've got you covered. See you next time. Mary Maids.
The agents of Kennedy Real Estate Group are committed to providing the ideal client experience. We believe in the power of relationships. Why? Because we don't just work here, we live here. From the nonprofits we serve, the parks where we play, and the local businesses we support, our team understands the value of living in the Wenatchee Valley. Let's begin your real estate story.
All right, let's take a look at temperatures around the valley as the heat wave is almost upon us. 72 here in the big city. It's already 81 in Ephrata, and it's not even 8 o'clock in the morning. Omak is at 78 degrees. I'm sorry, 79 degrees in Omak. Quincy is at 78. Out there in Moses Lake, 73 degrees. Everybody is going to be hot, and there's no escaping the heat. It's going to be all over the Pacific Northwest when it gets this hot. Some people like to go to the coast or some higher elevations to get away from the oppressive heat. There is no getting away from it. An excessive heat warning goes into effect at 11 o'clock this morning, goes all the way through 11 o'clock in the evening on Thursday. And take a look at this slide. Normally I like purple. In this instance, I don't like purple. This is the heat risk and maximum temperatures expected for Tuesday, and we have to, a little caveat there, give it, take a couple. A lot of it depends exactly how warm the overnight lows are going to be. There's going to be no escaping the heat. What I did over the weekend, and I'm glad I did it early Sunday when I got up, turned my AC unit off and took out the filters and cleaned them all up and made sure they were all ready to go, knowing that this was coming. So any kind of outdoors activity in the afternoon hours for the next 4 days is just not going to be a very good idea. So each day we're going to see the temperature kick up just a couple of more and then a couple of more. We had 95 on Sunday, and when we go through the forecast here in just a little bit, I'll tell you the record high temperatures for today through Thursday. Obviously we're talking at least a couple of days we are going to set record high temperatures. And remember, we haven't hit 100 yet this year. We got to 99 once. That was back in mid-July, and that's been it. We have yet to hit 100 degrees. Well, guess what? we're going to hit 100 degrees from the National Weather Service. Here we go. 101 our forecast high today. Our record high, 102. That was set back in 2021, just a couple of years ago, also in 1992. We got to 102 on this date. Look at the overnight lows. Look how mild they're going to be. 77 for the overnight low tonight. That is warm, and that means with an early start to the heat tomorrow, 106 our forecast high on Tuesday. That would blast by the old record high, which is 101, set back in 2021. Tuesday night's overnight low, 77. We could set record temperatures for low temperatures, too. Record warm, low temperatures, a distinct possibility. Wednesday's record high, 103, set back in 1967. We're looking at 104 there, so that would set a new record. And close to a record on Thursday. Our record high temperature on Thursday is 104 degrees, set back in 2008. We're going to be close to that on Thursday. A little bit cooler on Friday, back down to normal temperatures on Saturday and Sunday. It is going to be hot. And that's it for us. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to the Live It Up Show, the show where we explore and discuss how to take your life to that next level and beyond. We cover health, wealth, relationships, and how to create a life that feels good, because after all, that's what we want. We want to feel good. I'm your host and coach, Fletcher Ellingson, and today on the show, we'll be visiting with Angela Collins, who is the creator of Compassionate Parent Coaching. Angela specializes in coaching and supporting parents of LGBTQIA children, and this is a very important topic and